And if there is a faceless void standing in front of him, it's even more horrifying.
And he's got some of the best high ground defense in the game.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
saw a game last week with Team Aspire versus Little Boys, I believe, and they were behind by a significant amount, and
Yeah,
they had a Zeus on their team,
yeah,
Team Aspire, and they just managed to hold out until the rest of their team could slowly pick up farm,
yeah. We did.
and
We did see
they
that.
brought that one back. It was great to watch.
That was beautiful. It was a beautiful game, actually. They turned it really beautifully. Unfortunately, also the most disappointing game that we've cast so far, with one team unfortunately having to step out due to time constraints. But still, a amazing match to watch. I would love to see a rematch between those two teams. Because that was such a close game, so fantastically played, and Team Aspire showing us why they're so highly rated, slowly dragging that one back so carefully with that Zeus. And I think like the Zeus was at like 10k net worth when the rest of his team was at 6k net worth, and they just defended high ground forever. It was beautiful. I loved seeing that.
Yeah, I think he had an Octarine and just continually spammed out the Arc Lightning.
Yeah,
It's like,
Arc Lightning.
there's not a whole lot you can do against that, because if you jump in on him, his whole team was there to win the fight. I think they had those big team fight heroes like the Tide Hunter and I'm not sure, did they have the Enigma? Possibly.
They may have done. I don't remember the game exactly. I remember the Zeus. I feel like they would have. They may have had a Tide Hunter Enigma, and we discussed the fact that that was the case. I do recall the
Yeah.
comparison to the
And they had a
popular
Slark.
Beastmaster Enigma that we saw earlier. Yeah, I did also, of course, see the Slark there. Slark has been a very popular pickup lately.
Yeah, I feel the meta's sort of dragging towards this team fight, snowbally sort of feel. These big team fight ultimates are making their way back in. Heroes that deal lots of damage in team fights are making their way back in, like the Zeus that we've talked about, and these heroes like Odie and Slark, who love long team fights because they just get stronger as they go on. What do you sort of think about how that meta is evolving?
I think that there's a few things to consider whenever you look at the meta for Dota specifically. Like, we're still in the wake of a patch in a lot of ways. People are still figuring out like quite the strongest heroes, even after. Excuse me. Excuse me. Even after the Shanghai Major, people are still kind of experimenting with things and discovering things. And the big thing I find with every patch, to an extent, is that aggressive builds and team fighting builds, like compositions rather, tend to triumph immediately after a patch and in the like months following a patch quite consistently, just because it's so much easier just to pick heroes that are generically strong and team fight with them and do well, because they are just generically strong. And you don't have to try and take risks or push the limits of what you're doing or anything like that. But when you're given, it's more and more time progresses, I think we're going to see stranger and stranger strategies coming out that start to really push the limits of what the meta can do. I think we'll see more questionable compositions essentially come out that start to push exactly how much farm you can get out of a period, or exactly how passively you can play before it starts to become problematic. I think heroes like Spectre and Medusa and those heroes will make a pretty big comeback in that space.
I think what we're also seeing from this patch is the fact that there are a lot of viable strategies. As compared to some previous patches, this one seems to be, a lot more fluid. And the fact that teams, even after, I'm not sure the exact time on how long this patch has been out, but a considerable amount of time, new strategies are coming up all the time. So it's great to see, and it keeps the game exciting. I think the fact that sort of we keep going back to our old mate No Tail, says, anything can work.
It does seem that that the meta is that way right now, and I think the big thing that's interesting about this current patch is we haven't seen any particularly dominant heroes sans the period where Invoker was regarded as particularly dominant. But I think he's, after this most recent round of tweaks to him, has kind of fallen back into just being a strong pick, but not a particularly overpowered pick. The only things that we've seen pretty consistently banned being like OD, and I think most teams are like relatively happy to deal with him if they have to. Syllabia, again, I haven't seen particularly dominating performances from Syllabia. He's just such a safe hero to pick up. And he's just so able to do exactly what he wants to in an offlane, which isn't something you really want to have to deal with against an offlaner.
Yeah, I
And
think that's the big strength of Lone Druid, is
yeah,
not particularly the hero. Like, the hero is strong, but just his ability to find farm is almost second to none. The same goes for like heroes like not Lone Druid, Nature's Prophet, another hero that's seeing a lot of
yeah,
bans, who can just sit in the offlane. If the offlane doesn't go his way, he can just rotate around into the jungle, and he can be active across the map as well. So these sort of farm orientated offlaners are also getting prioritized.
yeah, definitely. I think that, and like, I think that's with very good reason, to be honest. Like the farm orientated offlane is a pretty big deal because offlane has historically been a position that doesn't get farm, and the primary goal of offlane has always been don't die and then soak as much XP as you can and like scrounge out any gold that you can. And so suddenly for there to be these offlaners like Enchantress, Lone Druid, Nature's Prophet, who have been popularized by a lot of the stronger offlane players, suddenly like they're able to get farm, they're able to do so very safely. I think Faceless Void honestly fits into this category too, with the changes to Time Walk being such a consistent ability for him now. He's just so able to secure the gold in those areas, and it's pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, like, I think any hero who has as reliable escape as Faceless Void is always going to be considered for the offlane, especially like once it gets a few levels up. You pretty much have to commit at least 3 heroes to even think about killing him.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting. I think the offlane meta is very fascinating at the moment. Obviously, the meta game surrounding the mid lane has become a little bit static recently, which is interesting to me. But we're seeing a lot more carry-ish heroes being played in the mid lane. This meta, much more like OD, Invoker, Zeus, like we talked about before, all heroes who can make like a very big impact in fights, but don't they're not playmaking heroes as much as we've seen historically. I mean, this is quite specific to the Cybergamer League. I know that outside of in like a lot of the professional scene, we're seeing people playing Batrider in middle again and other playmaking heroes. But in this particular scene, like we're seeing a lot of kind of just farmy carry mids, which is quite fascinating. Yeah.
I actually kind of enjoy the fact that mid has sort of fallen off that sort of snowbally carry the game by yourself role, because that was sort of, it put all your eggs in one basket almost. And the fact that it also translates into pubs as well, like people getting, like competitive over who chooses mid. But now there's a lot more options. If you want to, pick a hero with impact, you don't necessarily have to go in that mid lane.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that I personally kind of miss the impactful mid lane because I thought that it gave mid lane such an interesting dynamic. Not like the snowball carry. I'm not talking the Storm Spirit meta, but the
Oh God, please no.
the puck Batrider. I'm trying to think of other initiator heroes that go mid, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But that meta, like where mids were initiators and playmakers and gankers, even Quap. Like I loved ganking Quaps and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of sad to see it go, but it looks like we're going to be moving into the draft now. So we will let you guys go ever so briefly while we go into that, and we'll see you guys in a second. All right, welcome back to the draft. Here between Paragon eSports and Passive Aggressive Warriors. They don't happen to have a list here for their name, but going to be getting straight into it. Paragon banning out Earth Spirit, Passive Aggressive Warriors banning out Syllabia, Paragon banning out the OD, and I'm expecting we're going to see another meta ban here. Probably an Invoker, Mads, do you think?
Maybe Nature's Prophet. They have banned the Lone Druid, so they could be more afraid of that offlane role.
Oh, they like you better, Mads. They like you better. Paragon are immediately going to pick up the Invoker, though. They want their hero. And Passive Aggressive Warrior is going to respond with the Faceless Void. So both heroes that we see.
Witch Doctor possibly paired with this Void?
Witch Doctor would be a good pickup here.
It's a real strong
I'm not
opening.
Sure. It does seem like a very strong opening. I think that Void stands on his own and they could potentially choose to get a more generic hero here. They do pick up the Vengeful Spirit. I think this is a good pick. It denies it to Paragon, and Venge is such a big hero to have against a Void.
Yeah, like being able to just easily save heroes stuck in the chrono, so strong. Yeah, so definitely a good pick up there from Passive Aggressive Warriors. They've got a solid drafter on their team by the looks of it.
Yeah, and a cool thing from Passive Aggressive Warriors that can happen right now is that Venge can swap someone out of a chrono to allow the rest of the team to wail on them while Faceless Void does work, if they want to use the Faceless Void purely as initiator. Or she can swap someone back and then Void can put down the chrono as a counter to them being able to help their teammates. So it opens up a lot of opportunities for them. And obviously, Vengeful is such a strong hero. Currently, I would say her and Lion are the top picks of the support pool in terms of position 4 supports.
Yeah, most definitely.
Sorry, position 5 rather.
We'll see the Enchantress pick up from Paragon, a strong offlaner that they're confident with. As we saw last game, these two offlaners here, Enchantress and Void being picked up there as well. Very, very common picks. And Enchantress also pretty good against Faceless Void and both Vengeful Spirit because they don't deal a huge amount of magical damage, so her Untouchable is going to be coming into play there.
Although in fairness, Vengeful Spirit is able to put out a decent chunk of magic damage with Magic Missile at a lower level. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they run a tri-lane against it. Tri-lane could be quite dangerous for Enchantress. She's not that tanky if you can get enough magic damage on her, but it's going to be difficult to see. Paragon are going to ban out Lena, which is a interesting choice. I guess Lena is a very popular pickup against Invoker at the moment.
No, they might ban the Lion as well if they think. I mean, they got the Venge though. They might be thinking counters to Enchantress. Lena obviously very good against Enchantress, can just blow her up a lot of the time. So they might be targeting these high magic burst heroes.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. And I think denying the Lion wouldn't be the worst choice. He has very strong support, but it does leave their own support pool a little bit empty. They won't have the first pick after this ban phase, though, so difficult to say. Passive Aggressive Warriors have banned out Spectre. How do you feel about this, Mads?
Strong hero right now. Just pretty much, like a solid ban at any stage. Paragon actually banning out the Clinks. We have seen this obviously paired with the Faceless Void like last game. We've also seen Slarks picked as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Slark picked up for the side of Passive Aggressive Warriors here. Just a good hero to work with these long team fights.
Yeah, I think a big thing with Clinks as well, he is a very strong carry against Enchantress. Untouchable at the early levels, so like level 1 Untouchable is only a attack solo of 40. I think Strafe gives him 90 attack speed.
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
just scales on seconds done. So I think like level 1 it's 4 seconds. 90 attack speed. So at the early levels, essentially, Clinks is still going to be attacking faster.
They could always pick an
to get
Ursa.
2 levels in Untouchable.
Ursa's in the pool. He's a good counter to Enchantress as well. If they want to run him in the safe lane,
he could be picked. I'm not confident with it as a pick, but with the Vengeful Spirit, I mean, that is a strong Roche hero to have by your side. Passive Aggressive Warriors have banned out Sven too. think Paragon would be more inclined to play it than passive aggressive would, just based on the history that we've seen from them. But it'll be interesting to see who they go ahead and pick up here. I think the Ursa could actually be a decent pick. They're going to pick up a Lich. They don't want to give away any of their carries at this stage, and I don't think that's wrong. Do you think we'll probably see this Lich going to the safe lane?
Could also, yeah, I would say it would be. He could sit around mid as well and just help out with the lane there. He's so strong in lane with the sacrifice to pretty much instant win for your mid lane if you sit around there. We've still got Gyrocopter in the pool as well, who works fantastically with their lineup with the Lich and the Faceless Void there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him as a possible carry pick.
Paragon are going to pick up a Shadow Shaman here, kind of signaling to passive aggressive warriors and to us, I guess, that they're looking to make some kind of push lineup, I'd say. Invoker is a decent push hero with Forge Spirits. Enchantress a good push hero with the ability to grab creeps that can help her push. Shadow Shaman also a good push hero, of course, with the Serpent Wards. Enchantress obviously also has Nature's Attendants to help maintain pushes. Do you think we could be seeing a hero like Chen coming out here?
I don't think you pick a Chen with Enchantress. I think you've got enough. I mean, she feels that sort of, creep pushing ability herself. So what else do we need from them? A safe laner and another support as well. Could see something like a Juggernaut. He would work well, that sort of lineup.
Yeah, Juggernaut is a very good safe laner. On the support side of things, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jakiro. Very, very strong push hero, and has been played a little bit to pretty good success in the CyberGamer ladder lately.
Yeah, he would work quite well. We actually see a Zeus picked up here. A nice combo. Again, another common one we see. We saw this last game again. Just works so well with the Void.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we probably need to stop saying that things are a good combo with the Void, because I think pretty much everything is a good combo with the Void at this stage. Like, Lich is also a good combo with the Void, because you can throw the Chain Frost in there.
I mean,
it's a good combo with the Void.
The ultimate
Everything's
is so strong.
With the Void. Let's look at the enemy team. Invoker is a good combo with the Void. Enchantress is a good combo with the Void. Shadow Shaman is probably also a good combo with the Void.
Nah, he's not, because you can't put the wards in the chrono.
But you can put it outside like a Death Ward from Witch Doctor, right? Like, he's good for the same reason.
Yeah, but the range on them isn't fantastic.
I suppose. I mean, you're lining them up for a good 8 shock, though. You've got fantastic follow-up.
Big pick,
getting picked up from Paragon.
An uncommon carry right now.
Yeah, he's not as common. He does like to farm a lot. I guess Battle Fury, if he manages to get it with relative pace, is going to help him push a lot.
He's great against Zeus, though, so that might be a way they've picked him here.
True, and Lich, and Void, and Venge. I mean, if he can burn mana on any of these heroes, all of them are pretty reliant on ultimates to do like a lot of their work.
I'm thinking more
about
Zeus's massive mana pool. So once he's down on mana, you better stay away from him because he's going to pop.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think that the mana pool is a big deal, but I think that also a big thing is that all 4 of these heroes want their mana pool to be able to cast ultimate abilities, and if Anti-Mage can get to work on getting rid of that mana pool.
But I mean, Lich is going to have your mana, so he doesn't really care. I
believe actually, Mads, he says Lich is going to have your mama. It's actually a Yo Mama joke.
Oh yeah, what does he want with my mama?
I'm not really sure. Possibly eternal damnation, but who knows? Paragon banning out the Ursa. They have heard you, Mads.
They're listening to my my 3K strats.
Yeah, masterful stuff there. And they're going to ban out Tidehunter on the side of passive aggressive warriors. I don't think Tidehunter would have been my biggest concern.
No.
I honestly think that Paragon could pretty safely pick up Lion here and be happy with that outcome.
Silencer.
Whoa. Whoa. Silencer getting picked up by passive-aggressive warriors. I cannot say in any version of reality I saw this coming. Do you think?
I don't think I would have guessed that one either. I mean,
I think we're going to see aggressive tri-lane.
it's strong against the
Venge Lich
Invoker
Silencer.
combos. That's probably the other big thing is catching out the anti-mage as well. Those are probably the two big reasons I could see you would pick him.
I'm calling aggressive tri-lane on this. Lich Vengeful Spirit Silencer as an aggressive tri-lane could be quite good. Void can go to the safe lane and Zeus middle.
Yeah, this is a safe lane. I mean, it could be a safe lane Venge, or...
I don't think so.
I'd rather see the safe Venge than the safe Silencer, I think.
I think, yeah,
like position 1, I'm meaning.
Yeah. I think we're just going to see an aggressive tri-lane with all 3 heroes just taking farm as they please.
So they're just going to share the last hits.
Yeah. No, I think Silencer will probably take farm, to be honest, and I think that could be quite correct. I mean, Silencer is a huge monster if given farm. Can be a very scary hero. Very rarely played as a position 1 carry, but I would love to see it. I think that a lot of my decision making here is based mostly on my desire to see carry Silencer. Bat Rider going to be the final pickup here as the offlaner. I think this is good.
So the
pickup also a hero who can help the push.
Enchantress is jungling then.
Yes.
It's an interesting pick.
Yes. Must be.
There's definitely a couple ways these sort of drafts can go, which is nice to see. Looks like you've got a minute to wait anyway, because Zeus has decided, even though he is a god, he does have the needs of us mortals and needs to use the bathroom.
I'm back. Sorry there, guys. Just got disconnected ever so briefly. I have some fascinating bugs going on right now where the shopkeeper looks like he's standing very, very far below ground. Which is interesting. The other shopkeeper, totally fine though, so no worries. We've got this covered.
Is that the die one?
Yes. Yes. He appears to be quite dug in. Does he also appear that way for you, mates?
Yeah, that's normal though, isn't it?
Is it?
He's in a little trench.
Is it really?
I think so. It's not often that I look at that, honestly.
I will have to take your word for it because I have no idea. Zooming in though, gonna have a look at some skins here. Enchantress, running a nice skin. Shadow Shaman also looking quite swag with some symbols made in blood. Anti-Mage running this scary masked psychopath.
I'm liking the look of Lich right now. He looks pretty badass.
Oh, that is the compendium set right there. For having the full support list. Yep, that's the Lich set for that.
Nice set. I actually like those sets that they put out for those.
Well, I am just a full-time caster of Dota at this stage, man. So no sets for me, buddy.
So, as we get underway, both teams are going to follow opposite routes up towards the top and bottom room respectfully, so it doesn't look like we're going to have too much action here.
Enchantress does have a smoke of deceit there. Looks like they're going to look to smoke and wrap around. Unfortunately, not going to get anything here. A big commit from Paragon. Nothing more than what I would expect, really. And they are probably going to secure a safe lane. Block of that camp there for the Enchantress, but
so you might be right here because the Vengeful Spirit actually has sentries and a smoke. Looks like the Silencer
has the basics,
built for a null talisman here.
Null. Yeah.
They might actually be mid.
Though. I don't think he'll be mid. Not with the Zeus in the game. I think that safe Zeus would be too wacky. Too wacky. I think we're going to see that aggressive try I talked about earlier.
The battle begins.
but I've been wrong many times before.
I've seen crazier
and the silencer
things.
does look to be moving back to block his wave. No,
What is
no.
going on?
He's going to the safe lane. Zeus is going to be blocking it. He's going to secure the mid.
Yeah.
We're going to see 2 duels by the looks of it. Very unorthodox and case aggressive here.
Yes,
I thought they were about to show me a new meta, but they're going to show me 2 dual lanes in combination with the Lich, deny a whole lot of farm to their anti-mage. And I mean, that's a good call in my opinion. If you can stop the anti-mage coming online, then
it's a very strong lane, the Void and the Lich there. It's going to be hard for them to contest this.
Both teams pinging each other out top. In the middle, we're going to see brief exchanges here between Invoker and Zeus. I feel that Zeus is at a disadvantage in this lane. I think we're probably going to see Silencer coming to this lane a lot. He's going to be down here with the Vengeful Spirit though. Venge's going to go ahead and pull, and facing up against the Bat Rider, this is probably not the most favourable lane for him. He's going to suffer a lot from the turn speed there, from the Sticky Napalm, decreasing his turn speed so much. I've got a curse onto the Bat Rider, but he doesn't really mind. Venge is going to look to pull through. Is Bat Rider going to counter? Does put down a single Sticky Napalm, but not able to stop the pull through. It does occur. It's going to get the farm though. And Enchantress coming up too from the jungle there. Has managed to pick up a Troll Priest. Super good for him.
It looks like she's just going to jungle the enemy's jungle here and sit around in case Bat Rider needs some help in lane. Which is,
I think this is a very good choice.
Good play.
Also able to deny any kind of pull camps to the Radiant safe lane as well. Top lane though, Anti-Mage is going to be taking a bit of farm. Takes a Frost Nova, and now Void going forward does do Time Walk, forcing Anti-Mage to take the Blink, and is going to have to eat a Healing Salve too, but he came prepared. Healing Salve and 8 tangos.
I think if Void leveled Time Dilation, that might have been a kill instead of Bash.
I believe Time Dilation only locks out spells that are on cooldown, right? It doesn't just lock out spell casting.
Was it not used already?
No. He just delayed using it for quite some time and took a lot of damage.
Bold strategy.
Indeed, it is Cotton, and it did in fact pay off. Void though is going to move up with the Lich now, pull the top creep wave around, secure himself some farm. Shadow Shaman counter pulls a creep camp to try and make it a little bit harder for them to get. But Void is just going to go ahead and get a first hit bash on the Shadow Shaman. He's in a tough position now. Going to fall from that, losing half of his health. Looking over at the last hits and denies, we see Zeus though is dominating Silencer in middle. 15 CS, 3 denies. Sorry, Invoker in middle. Well, Invoker has 6 CS, 3 denies. He's almost tripling the Invoker's
And Anti-Mage having a rough time in the safe lane here, like we thought. It's very hard to get last hits against these two.
Yeah, I mean, Lich just able to kind of take those last hits and obviously deny additional last hits with the sacrifice. Lich has a really tight attack animation too. It's something that I think gets ignored a lot, but his attack animation is so quick in terms of being able to throw adversary assets. On bot, Bat Rider kind of having a wee exchange here with the Silencer. He's up to 2 stacks of Napalm, but Firefly is going to be off cooldown very shortly. He's not able to do a whole lot. He is taking a lot of damage from Arcane Curse though. Obviously Arcane Curse, since the changes, now refreshes whenever someone casts a spell. Bat Rider throwing down a lot of sticky napalm, but it's going to cost him a decent amount of mana and health.
Yeah, I think Anti-Mage actually taking a lot of damage there. I think as Silencer gets levels, this lane is going to get harder and harder for the Bat Rider.
Absolutely, Bat Rider a very spell reliant hero.
We can't miss first blood this game, Josh.
No, we will not do so. Whoa, the Shadow Shaman's going to get first hit bash though. There goes the Time Dilation in combination with the Frost Nova, and the Time Walk's going to come forward, and we did not miss First Blood, man. It's going to be First Blood, going to passive aggressive warriors with the Void Lich combo. Anti-Mage couriering himself out a self, and has already chewed through those 8 tangos that he brought with him and a self. So 2 selves and 8 tangos already used for this Anti-Mage. He is in a very, very tough spot, only having 13 CS.
Silencer going down in top lane.
He did in fact go down. And they've gone very deep. The Vengeful Spirit could now be in trouble. The Ursabear Clamp is going to go forward and use the Earth Shock. I'm really not sure what it's called. But they're going to secure that kill. which is going to be great for them. Trading the Shadow Shaman for 2 kills on bot. The Batrider is going to be very happy.
Shadow Shaman rotating middle on the Zeus here. He does have the shackle ready.
Yep, and they're going to take him down quite easily. Shackle in combination with Cold Snap stopping him doing anything. He is very far ahead, 23 and 4. So that's going to secure the Enchanter and Invoker a little bit more CS.
Meanwhile, like off lane, new safe lane, Faceless Void topping the last hit charts here, having the time of his life.
Yep, he's having none of this anti-mage business. Significantly further ahead than him. Level 5 ahead of anti-mage, so he'll be coming up on Chrono very soon. Still has his salve, has his treads and his poor man shields up. This anti-mage is having a horrific time, and I think anti-mage either holding a point or may have skilled stats at some stage. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but it is shy a point.
Yeah, it looks like he's skilled stats. By the look of his +2.
Oh, yeah, it does have the +2 across everything. Yep. Very observant, Mads. Masterful. Obviously, your continue to play at the 3K has improved your skills as an analysis, whilst mine are still poor.
You got to get better sooner or later.
Definitely. Maybe I'll have to go back to playing Dota.
You can't feed forever.
I'll announce my immediate resignation.
Shadow Shaman getting aggressive on the Zeus here. It's going to take a lot of damage. Zeus actually following him up. He gets shackled for it. Invoker coming around the back. And he's got no mana now. Looks like he's going in too deep.
Now the Tornado. Venge looking to get some revenge though. Not able to do so.
Charger's rotating around here as well.
He's going to put Enchant down on the Venge, but Lich is here as well. He throws down an auto attack, but is a little bit deep here. Does though manage to save the Venge, forcing him back off.
He's running in. He's so keen. I'm not sure if that was the play.
I don't quite know what was going through his head there, but does go ahead and die. The first death, I believe, for passive aggressive warriors.
Wow.
A very aggressive Lich. On top lane though, Void's still just dominating this anti-mage. Almost has 6, needs one more creep kill, and that was almost a kill for him there. But, not quite able to get that last creep kill from the wave to get 6 and steal the Chronosphere. Anti-mage going to move off into the jungle to try and get any farm that he can. But Void up to 40 CS and 21 denies, along with a Lich in your lane.
Destroying. And if you look at the net worth,
he's having the worst time of his life.
He's almost 1,000 ahead of the next person, which is Invoker.
Yeah, and Zeus is fighting Invoker for that second place too. So a great position right now for passive aggressive warriors. Silencer kind of trailing behind, but still ahead of the anti-mage. S there, safe lane. Farmer.
Yeah, the Silencer has died once though, whereas the anti-mage has not. So yeah, we've got to give that to the anti-mage. He hasn't managed to throw his life away too easily.
Very hard to die as anti-mage though with the ability
the Chrono is here now. He needs to be very careful.
Yeah, I think they have to get a little bit of damage off before it can secure. But I mean, a Chrono into Lich. I think they want this Chain Frost. One more creep kill could give him the level 6. Is it going to be the case?
If they hit him with another,
strip away ever so
they
quickly.
should go now.
Enchantress is getting killed in the mid lane. Does get picked off by the Void Venge combo there, but they do have the Chain Frost Chrono combination here. If they can catch both of them, it's going to be disastrous.
They could have had that kill. Zeus dropped the ultimate there, finishing off the Enchantress, but that would have actually been enough damage for the anti-mage as well if they had a Chronosphere.
Anti-mage being forced out by a Harpy Stormcaster there, not able to get his way through. Does manage to pick up the Ring of Health though. This is going to secure him a lot more farm. With the ability to just kind of stay in the lane, and Witch Doctor's also going to salve him if they smoke. An interesting choice of smoke here. Anti-mage not really interested in the smoke by the looks of it. Going to go back and take that Harpy.
You have none of it.
Says no thank you. Witch Doctor now forced to go off on the smoke by himself. I'm not sure he can do much though.
Looks like they're going on the Silencer bottom here.
Yeah, the Batrider is very far forward, and they also have an Enchantress in the area. She's going to grab herself a Troll Warlord. Dark Troll Summoner, actually. My apologies.
I'd be very surprised if she found a Troll Warlord sitting in the jungle there. That'd be a great creep.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, just pick one of those up.
Dota Ember, please. Managed to get a Dark Troll Summoner, rather. Summons the Skeletons. Does have the net ready, and this could be disastrous.
There's
but
3 down
actually, in the turn the other way, They throw down the global silence, and they've got 2 extra heroes here. Venge taking a lot of damage, and now they're chasing through the fire. I'm not sure this is the correct choice, but Zeus is coming up. A lightning bolt in combination with an arc lightning, securing them a Bat Rider, but now the Invoker's coming around. He's hungry for Zeus. Throws down the tornado. He does also have a cold snap on him, and here comes the EMP. Boom! He's gone.
I think the Faceless Void should have considered TPing in for that one. He's obviously decided his farm's more important, but that was quite a large engagement. He could have helped out immensely with his Chronosphere.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem there was Zeus just unfortunately went slightly too aggressive, and Invoker capitalized on that. If they had just backed away after securing that Bat Rider kill, the Zeus would have been fine. And net worth, the Faceless Void.
He's going for a Midas as well.
Is he? Wow.
Bottom lane though.
In fact, does have the Midas.
Silencer getting dove here.
Silencer's going to TP out, but he's going to get War Stomped. And on top of that, the Bat Rider's going to get the Flaming Lasso off onto the Vengeful Spirit. And Enchantress going to use the Impetus here, but Void's coming down. Got down the Time Warp. And on top of that, Zeus will be coming down. The Bat Rider is silenced though, he can escape here along with the time dilation. A lightning bolt going to finish him off. Zeus getting a double kill, shooting him well into the lead of Silencer. Still chasing the Void though for net worth.
Yeah, Void picking up a kill and an assist there. So just showing you the strength of the rotations there from him. It's good to see that he actually came around for that one.
There is an Invoker in the jungle again, but I don't think he's going to have half as much luck as he had last time. Definitely not able to pick off a Zeus. Does go ahead and back out a little bit scared.
So
I think he did see them walking.
The safe lane Silencer not really working out, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much at this point, considering how far they are ahead. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting pick. It hasn't worked out per se, but I also think that their Lich Void combo has really shut down the anti-mage, so they can afford to have the safe lane Silencer. And I think the safe lane Silencer is going to do big work. Invoker going in on mid, but not going to be able to secure anything here. Zeus getting pretty low, but Invoker just going to force him back and then go ahead and grab the bounty ring top. So Void's actually given Lich the offlane here to get XP by himself. He's actually going to find a free kill there on the Shadow Shaman.
Instantly blowing up the Shadow Shaman with the Chain Frost Blast combo. That was actually a 2-hit. The ultimate support battle, Mads.
Well, that's the thing. He's level 8, so he's managed to max out his Frost Blast and had his ultimate there, which is an easy kill for him. Good use of the ults. Like a lot of players wouldn't think that's worth it, but no, it definitely is.
Yeah, Enchantress is going to come in now. Maybe secure this Lich, but he's onto it. Knows what's happening.
Void's coming back. And he's got Chrono in 10 seconds.
Yep, I don't know if they want to commit a Chrono for just this Enchantress though. Maybe.
It's going to be a hard kill as well because of Untouchable.
He definitely wants to commit a Chrono for an Enchantress and an Anti-Mage though. They will need a TP to secure that. But yeah, I don't think they can get the Enchantress without the Chain Frost up, but the Anti-Mage is a possibility. You'll get a Frost Blast down onto the Enchantress.
The whole team of Paragon have rotated up here though, so they're anticipating this jump.
They're waiting for it, baiting it. But there was a ward there from Passive Aggressive Warriors,
so they are aware of what's going on. Silence is quite far up.
Yep, Void's going to take some farm. Venge is in the area, ready for a swap to get the Lich out. And Silencer, going to go ahead and push up aggressively against this Bat Rider. Doing a nice little chunk of damage there with the Curse.
So, Anti-Mage picking up a casual Ring of Regen, so obviously to help his jungle there. He might end up building it into a Vlad later, but for now, I think it's purely assisting his jungle because he was having trouble taking down those creeps.
Yep, I mean, still only just ahead of supports there. Having a pretty tough time, and is chasing the safe lane Silencer, who's definitely had a very hard time. Enchantress is on this top lane, could get caught out. The Void's just taking some more farm here. He's almost up to 6.5k. He's having a great old time. Looks like he's going to be going for the Mask of Madness build, looking to switch himself into a slightly bigger damage dealer role, and allow Silencer to be a more utility-based play.
Yeah.
Silencer does already have the drums there too. Oh, he has the Here's the recipe, but maybe it's short. The
I mean,
mental.
it could also be the Vlads. That's a very common pickup nowadays. But it is Mask of Madness, like you said. So
yeah, I saw him pick up the recipe.
Okay. So yeah, obviously he has decided that with the amount of farm he has ahead, he shouldn't be this utility offlaner, and he's going to transition into position 1.
Definitely, and I mean he can absolutely switch back to utility a little bit later if he needs to, but I think with his silencer in the safe lane, it shouldn't be a problem. And they are probably going to go ahead and just take this tower here, starting to wail on it a bit. They've got Avenge sitting back, looking to see if anyone tries to engage.
Radiant's bottom tower.
When he
join the Navy.
That's what he needs to do.
The Avenger's name is join the Navy backwards.
How long did it take you to move that?
About 2
Radiant's
seconds.
middle tower is under attack.
I'm a master.
Is that a Simpsons reference?
I'm unsure.
I'm sure there was.
Yes, I am not a big Simpsons fan.
I'm sure there was
Silencer.
a join the Navy Simpsons reference.
Silencer is investing in a powerful strat that we've seen in the CyberGamer ladder before, Mads. The always good stand in the trees and soak XP. Which we've historically seen from the Sven that one time. Void though is getting super aggressive. He's just going to walk in against these guys, time warp himself out. Does have the Mask of Madness on. Pretty cool looking effect there when you combine it with the haste and the sticky napalm from the Bat Rider. He looks like some kind of bleeding madman. But both teams kind of just thrusting at each other, but not really having anything connect.
So I mean, I think like Radiant's playing a very sort of passive, also aggressive lineup. Like they're in their face, but they're also gathering farm as they go. And now they're going to transition to the aggressive side of this by smoking up here and possibly looking for a kill in the jungle or on Invoker.
Definitely.
They do have the Chrono ready.
He goes forward. Chronos, Mask of Madness has gone down. The scream of, the wave of terror from the Vengeful Spirit going to shred the armor there.
And they're probably going to take this tower because they saw the 2 TP cancelled there. So,
yes,
tower for them.
Not sure that those TPs should have been cancelled, but they could have been nice bait for a Lich ult there, so they have to be pretty careful with that. They are going to look to pressure top and try and secure a tower of their own, but towers going in favour of passive-aggressive warriors this early. Not going to be the best thing for them. Paragon kind of have a stronger push lineup, and especially with the Shadow Shaman, probably wanted to push a little bit more. They're going to throw down all of this stuff here. The Serpent Ward's going down on the top tower, and I think that's probably just going to have to fall. There's not a lot they can do about that.
So
they're going to glyph it to delay, but
so hard to push into a faceless void. Chronosphere is big, very, really scary. It's, like alongside the sort of almost like Tide Hunter and the Black Hole, those sort of the offlaner of Tide and Void have played similarly these days.
Yep, they are going to manage to secure this tower though. Nope, they're getting forced back by an Invoker. Lich is going to put down a Frost Blast and manage to escape freely. Surprisingly, able to get a very deep ward off. To keep his team safe and show them where to go and back away. And I would just like to say, Mance, I did notice what you did before, and you will be called memes from now on, as opposed to Mance. Just so you know.
Oh, I'm completely okay with that name.
That's good, that's good. Perseverance now on the Anti-Mage, along with the Quelling Blade. We're going to be seeing the Claymore and Broadsword coming out shortly, I expect, for the Battle Fury.
The slowest Battle Fury I've seen since my last pub with Anti-Mage in it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hard. On a lot of heroes, you would say don't go Battle Fury here, just because, I don't know, you may be better to get an item that actually helps you at this stage in the game to fight. But I feel like with Anti-Mage, Battle Fury is just such an important item for
Yeah, I think you have to, even if you're behind, because it is your catch-up item. Being able to get it and then just quickly accelerate your farm and get back into the game, I think is his plan right now. But obviously a very steep hill to climb as we look over to the graphs. Not as big as I actually thought it would be. Only 3,000 and both gold and XP, and going towards the size of passive aggressive warriors.
Yeah, I think that the big thing is the Void is just very far ahead right now, but I mean, similar number of kills, and with a Void that's quite farmed, I think it's a pretty big deal. Just because He's handing over a lot of gold for that.
Looks like the Silencer is going towards a sort of more utility role, picking up the drums and now a Vit Booster, possibly a Rod of Atos for him, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, a Rod of Atos is a super standard item for a Silencer. And a very good item. I mean, it gives him more utility, and he is transitioning to this utility role. He already has the drums picked up. We see he has a Null Talisman there, which he's holding on to. Could eventually become a Dagon if he really wants it to. But I think that was probably more the intent if he got any kind of farm on the Bat Rider. Wasn't able to do so, so now a Rod of Atos and a Drums of Endurance is going to help his team catch and chase down anyone who tries to run. Especially if they kind of manage to escape the Void.
So, what else is actually slowing down the Anti-Mage right now is he's having to share the farm with the Bat Rider. Bat Rider has now picked up a Blink, but he's actually continuing to take the jungle away from Anti-Mage, who desperately needs it.
Yeah, moving in for the 4 staff there. Does need another 600 gold for that. Not sure how I feel about this. I really feel like they need this anti-mage to come online in a very big way. But Bat Rider having 4 staff is also going to give them a pick potential that's just so huge. And on top of this, like anti-mage is going to have this pick potential to do these things. He's going to have the pick potential off the Bat Rider. He can then get farm from that. Because I mean, Bat Rider can blink in, lasso, 4 staff, and then throw the flame keg to push back their team. That's going to give anti-mage enough time to assist in the kill at the very least, or maybe secure a last hit on a kill, and then blink back out.
Invoker getting very aggressive on the mid lane there, with not much in the way of backup. Just throwing out,
forward, but not able to do anything
some cheeky tornadoes. I feel like,
and a smoke coming down.
I feel like this downtime actually benefits Paragon, and maybe passive aggressive warriors realize this and decide to go anti-mage hunting. But it looks like they have figured this one out, and they are backing off.
Yep, they do. Back right away. I think they actually smoked quite near one. I don't think it actually hit vision, but I mean, it does seem kind of obvious when they all disappear from the map, especially when you saw 4 of them in the middle. Enchantress is going to get right up in the trees. She's not interested in dying here. The Void is looking for anything he can go, and he's hungry.
Yeah, it looks like they just take this tower, which is fair enough.
Yeah, it does look that way. Void gonna go ahead and just solo the wave. Enchantress stuck in a very awkward position. Invoker's gonna come up though, maybe look to try and fight this Void. I don't think this is the best choice from him right now. They're the same level. Invoker does have the blink earn there. So items I'm a big fan of. Also has drums, which I think is an interesting choice, but I certainly can't fault it. Definitely a very good item. Bat Rider's gonna get up in the Radiant jungle and secure himself that 4-star farm. Should have it in just a second. He's going to finish off this Earthspear Clapper, and that gives him a 4-star right there. Here we go, him picking up the recipe now. In the mid lane, though, they're going to throw down the Serpent Wards to go ahead and take the mid tower in recompense for their top tower going down. It looked like they want to push a tier 2 here. I'm not sure if this is the best decision.
I think at this point they need to push their advantage. They can't let Paragon away with farming up this Battle Fury on the anti-mage.
Yeah, absolutely, and they are going to, I think, be able to secure this pretty safely. Silence is going to try and delay it by throwing down the tornado, but now they lack any real initiation against this. They're going to take it and force the Silencer back, and this is going to give them free access to the jungle. Anti-mage is going to be getting aggressive into the Radiant jungle, but a couple of wards is going to make short work of that. If they so wish to control the jungle in every way possible, which I think would be a very good choice. Enchantress up in there too. But now that Bat Rider has secured his 4 staff, I think he's happy to sit back. Although he doesn't have it yet, looks like it's coming on the courier now.
We haven't actually seen any big blink lassos from Bat yet. Do you think that's purposely they're just playing more defensively and don't really want to risk throwing more kills the way of passive aggressive warriors?
I think it's a lot. Like they're not actually that behind in terms of kills or anything like that. I don't think they're super worried about being that behind. The big thing is that they just want to farm the anti-mage up. I think that Bat is mostly like they don't really have a team who follows up on it super well. But more than anything, I think that Bat's just not been in a position to do a lot. Like since he got the blink, he's mostly spent his time farming. passive aggressive warriors have been moving as 5 a lot, or 4, or smoking, or been on their side of the map. And you don't really want to try and engage into their side of the map. On top of that, like if Silencer decides to counter-initiate that, it's going to be a super hard fight for you to take. A lot of their damage output right now is coming from Silencer, Enchantress, and Shadow Shaman to an extent with Ultimate if he can get it down. If Batrider gets silenced, and then they just go in, they probably win the fight, to be honest.
Oh, Chrono.
Chrono missing.
Invoker managed to blink out of it. Looks like he's still going to go down. So.
Yep, that was really tight from them, but they're going to take the tier 2 and recompense for it.
Looks like they're trading though, and possibly some damage on the tier 3 actually. There's Paragon.
Looks like the Shadow Shaman wants to push, but I don't think this is a wise choice from him. There is a a Lich sitting behind them. But the Anti-Mage and the Enchantress are keen to take the middle tier 2. They're going to put a little bit of damage down. This is very fascinating. Paragon seem to be kind of like technically behind, but all of their heroes are getting a pretty even amount of farm, and they're doing a great job of kind of dragging.
They're playing
keep
away.
Out.
They're playing keep away right now. They see all 5 pushing bot. They go push mid and top. It's good, and the fact that passive aggressive warriors doesn't have that much in the way of catching them out. I mean, they need to be quite. They need to save the Chrono pretty much, and the global silence for it. But it looks like they're just going to keep pressuring these towers, which I think is the right play here.
I think they can do it here. I mean, Chrono is on cooldown, but they do have the Chain Frost is going to kind of insist that they don't clump up on the engagement. It's going to be hard. They're just going to move forward now. Gets a Tornado, 1, 2, 3, EMP going on to Zeus along with the Cold Snap. Void, though, is also hexed. They're going to throw down the shackles on him from the Shaman, but swapped out immediately by Vens. Really well played, and in combination, of course, with the Global Silence, going to stop anything bad happening. And now they're in a pretty good position. Batrider's going forward, going to put down the Flaming Lasso, but he is Rod of Atos by the Silencer. Really a really solid counter to that. Hibernation coming down now. He goes onto the Shadow Shaman and beats him down. There's going to be a big mana break from the Anti-Mage, but it's not enough. Zeus does eventually go down, but not too much of a worry there. They secure the Enchantress. Now 3 versus 2. Anti-Mage not the strongest hero, but there is an Invoker still up. Could make some strong counter push. They're going to back away here.
That Anti-Mage did so much damage with that mana void to the Zeus there.
Yep.
Yep. I think that was his contribution to the team fight, and that's definitely the that you want to make as an Anti-Mage, playing from behind.
Definitely, I mean it's exactly what you wanted there. Exactly what you're talking about, the power of an Anti-Mage against Zeus. Zeus has picked up the Octarine Core. I think he had it for that fight, I'm not quite sure, but in combination with the Aether Lens, he's going to be putting a lot of damage now, which is kind of spooky.
Look at Anti-Mage's farm now. He's jumped up back into 3rd place. He's only going to be catching up faster now that he's got his Battle Fury, so...
And he's already picked up the Yasha and the Vladimirs, I think, securing the kill on that Zeus. Did a lot for his net worth there, if I can manage to see. And he managed to get the kill on the on the Lich there.
Oh, he's in trouble here. The Chrono.
Enchantress.
Is he going to drop it? Oh, he waited for the blink.
Yep, now puts down the time dilation, stopping him from getting any cooldown on that. Puts down the Chrono in combination with that. They want this Anti-Mage, and they are going to get him, taking him for 450-ish gold. And it looks like they're now immediately going to take a Roshan. A really good choice, I think. At this stage, Void is going to start it, but no, he jumps up. There is an Enchantress behind here. She don't think she has a ward, so she probably can't scout this out. And Lich is going to put down a ward.
They're going to see it.
They're going to see the Enchantress. Void is going to go ahead and destroy a Shadow Shaman who comes near his Ancients. My Ancients, he says, as Zeus dewards this. They're not going to take the Roshan. Enchantress is going to rotate into the Radiant Jungle. And I really do have to compliment Paragon on this. They have been having a really hard time getting farm, but they've done a great job of taking the Radiant Jungle. And without wards in it from passive aggressive warriors to try and deny them that farm in the jungle, and also Paragon just kind of juking around any wards they think they know about. It's worked out really well for them. Silencer now picking up the DKB though, in combination with the Atos. And I really have to say, the Atos worked out incredibly well for them against the Batrider. He jumped in, he lassoed, he tried to pull her back, but the Atos, slow, did a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a great item on him, and it's good against pretty much all the heroes. Oh, Chrono drop. For the Invoker,
immediately
go down
onto the
again.
Invoker. They're having none of that, and the ward from Lich.
It's doing
paying
so
off in a
much
huge
work.
way. That's paid off in a huge way. I don't think it actually also scouted out the Shadow Shaman up here.
Yeah.
Just earlier, I think it would have given them just enough vision to see it. What a value ward, 2 kills for it. Meanwhile, though, I mean, Paragon are playing Dota right here, taking some books out of Alliance's pages. The Enchantress has been pushing this bottom tier 2, and they're forced back despite having an Aegis. They can't quite use it yet. The middle tier 2 also very low, but no tier 2s up for Paragon right now. What a tight game.
I mean, the difference is getting more and more in favor of passive aggressive warriors, though. They're over 10k net worth now. I think this is their game to lose right now, and I believe it rests on anti-mage's shoulders here to actually win this for Paragon, because I don't think they're going to win it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, a 10k lead going in favor of passive-aggressive warriors right now. We do see that Zeus has picked up a 4-staff now, more interested in the survivability, and does have an arcane rune on him.
He's got the Octarine.
And
this is a
an arcane rune.
1.3 second cooldown arc lightning.
Yep, and then you could just use the League of
Here
Legends rune.
we go.
He has used the League of Legends rune. How fast is this cooldown? He's just going to try and man fight this anti-mage. I don't think this is the right choice.
0.9 seconds.
0.9 second cooldown arc lightning. That is horrifying. There is also an Enchantress here. I think this Zeus needs to be a little bit careful about getting too aggressive, but their entire team is up there. They do have some aggressive wards, and now this Invoker is going to wander past. Could be awkward, but no, they're going to try and rotate up, I think, here, but going to get scattered out by the ward. Void is moving up towards the Enchantress anti-mage. Enchantress hiding back near the secret shop.
Looks like they want to kill before they push high ground, and they might actually find it here.
They want the Invoker, they put down the Magic Missile and the Wave of Terror. Now a Global Silence. They're just going to swap him back. Zeus ultimate comes down, and that's going to get that kill right there. And now the high ground push, very, very possible. Paragon not having a high ground defense half as good as passive warriors. Of course, they have the Zeus, one of the great gods, of the high ground defense.
I think, yeah, and Invoker is probably their best in terms of that. Obviously, the threat of the Batrider is a good defense in its own right, but I think
Invoker was an incredible pickup, just because he was their primary AoE initiator, but now Invoker's going to buy back. Void's going to come forward though, keeping up, gets 2 in the chrono. He's going to be tornadoed up, but he's going to get the Witch Doctor down. Shadow Shaman, sorry.
He just can't kill him.
So slow. But they just cannot do anything about him. He's not even worried. Time Walk goes forward, does it again. Zeus throws down an ultimate, does not manage to secure any kills here. Anti-Mage is buying back though. He knows that he has to be here. And Passive Aggressive Warrior is going to back out. Will they chase this though?
If they get an ult on Zeus right now, that's at least 3 of the heroes dead, I think.
Yeah, they did throw it down just a little bit earlier, unfortunately.
Did he?
But they are going to go.
No, he's got
high ground again.
He could use this there.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the anti-mage.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the Zeus ultimate. Yeah, does have the mana void.
I want to see
it. Pretty
happen.
devastating. Silencer is going to jump back, but the anti-mage comes forward. Ooh, he throws down the Rod of Atos and the silence on the anti-mage, though he can't come after them. 4-star from the Lich. No, maybe not the Lich. They go after them. But now, Silencer under the Aegis. The Serpent Ward trap immediately comes
Chrono is up, but he doesn't have the mana
swaps
for
him
it.
out. And he might die here. No, a nice 4-staff gets him out. And wow, what a fantastic play there from passive aggressive warriors. I think the Lich went down regardless, but
it cost them a lot of buybacks.
It did, and the Radiant with passive aggressive warrior is now up to a 20k gold lead, which is not insignificant at this this time mark. There's going to be a big push forward here though. And I think both tier 2s are going to go down. One of them goes down to creeps, and I think the middle is going to go down to heroes. And Enchantress getting aggressive on this.
Yeah, Void just
and unfortunately, without Lich,
Radiant structures are fortified.
without the Lich, it could be a little bit of an awkward fight here. Void not having enough mana right now for the Chrono.
Yeah.
Now does have enough, but no space in his inventory for a TP scroll. Having just picked up a butterfly, he could go with his Aghanim Scepter, Mask of Madness, and
does he
Yasha.
sell
He's
the
playing
Hand of Midas?
He's playing all bashes all the time, Mads. I actually think he goes Boots of Travel.
Yeah, but he can't afford it for a little bit. Does he just want to farm up and survive them? But he can run so fast with the butterfly that he can just get to the fights by sprinting there.
I would like to point out that I think, looking at the net worth chart, it's actually swung very significantly back in favor of Paragon. About 2k, 3k back in favor of Paragon. Now sitting just below a 20k gold difference in favor of passive aggressive warriors. But Void with about a 20k gold. With about 20k net worth, Void is essentially their gold lead right now, which I think is a very accurate analysis of this game.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't kill him that fight. Just way too tanky, and he's going to be dealing so much damage now.
Yep, and now with the butterfly, they do not have MKB in sight.
He's found the Enchantress.
He wants her. He's chasing her down. He has another time walk, but chooses not to use it. I think that's correct. Aggressive time walks are certainly not my favorite thing to do.
He doesn't want to throw the game.
They do have a smoke down though. If this invoker comes forward, he's very dead. But I think the Void is just going to go ahead and just whack things.
Yeah.
He wants this Rax. He's going to take the Rax. Dodges out of the EMP, doesn't want to lose all that mana, needs to keep it. Really needs that chrono. Could get some good chronos here though. He's going to get a Hex from the Shadow Shaman. It's going to be on a 10-second cooldown, but Bat Rider comes forward, grabs the Zeus. He's going to get swapped out immediately, stopping the Bat Rider from doing anything, and Bat Rider now has BKB up. He's on cooldown though. He goes down the Chronosphere. Invoker uses the counter deafening blast, but it's not enough to get straight through it. Void now just standing right next to this Enchantress who can't do anything. And no one going down for passive aggressive warriors right now. Void going super deep. Throws down the time distortion to try and secure the anti-mage, but not able to. I think they're going to take the mid-racks very easily here. And probably the top racks too, although they're going to look to move towards the bottom.
GG.
GG coming out from Paragon here. Wow, a surprisingly close game. It did feel like passive aggressive warriors controlled the tempo a lot, but Paragon's still putting up an incredible fight, as we would expect from the number 5 and number 4 teams here. They did say good game, but they haven't said GG in the lobby, so maybe not quite willing to give up yet. Just indicating that it has been a good game, which is definitely the case, man.
Maybe they're trying to bait out the GG call there. I probably would have felt them.
And sneaky lobby strats. Zeus is going to get 4-star forward here. Is put out against this anti-mage though. This could be pretty disastrous, but the Chronosphere is going to come down. Unfortunately, the Aghanim Scepter giving Chronosphere such a short cooldown, only 60 seconds. That's the actual GG. Game is going to be coming to an end, going in the favour of passive aggressive warriors. What a fantastic match, mads. Great plays from both teams. A real pleasure to watch. We'll be back with you guys in just a second for the post-game analysis. You can check us out on twitch.tv/ClutchNZ. Welcome back, guys. Wandering Beer here with Mads after that fantastic game between Paragon eSports and Passive Aggressive Warriors. Wow, just what a game. Fantastic play from both sides. The Void ending up 8-0-9, showing us some amazing Faceless Void play and really showing us the power of that Faceless Void Lich dual offlane, which we didn't expect to see. Really just crippled the anti-mage. Thoughts on the game, Mads?
Yeah, I mean, who knew that Faceless Void was still a carry, right? So he ended up being the position 1, starting out in the offlane, funnily enough. So that actually puts passive aggressive warriors continue their unbeaten streak. Is that 5 wins in a row now? I think that puts them up to
5 wins.
About 2nd place.
I do not have the ladder in front of me, so I'll have to take your word for it on that one.
I'm going to say 2nd. So deservedly 2nd as well. They're playing so well in all of their games.
Yeah, definitely have been playing fantastically. I mean, just really great play from them all around. Every game we've seen, they've done something very impressive and very, very aggressive. Must definitely get the mad seal of approval for a kill a minute, would they not?
Oh yeah, there was lots of action in that game. It got a little bit slow in the mid game, and then I think passive aggressive warriors decided that they'd had enough and that they wanted to go find some kills and some towers and really just punish Paragon for picking that anti-mage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the early game was like it came out fairly even. Passive aggressive warriors sort of in slightly favored there because they didn't have an anti-mage, but the anti-mage was quite a liability for Paragon. The Void Lich offlane did really well against him, which was quite impressive, and just kind of dominated that lane. Even Lich just got so much out of the lane, despite the fact he was essentially there to support Void, but Void got a lot of denies. Lich Sacrifice removed a lot of potential XP and gold from anti-mage, and he was just so crippled in his ability to do anything against them.
Yeah, it's
and that cost them just throughout. I think the length of the game, it just felt like because they were essentially a hero down, passive aggressive warriors took the tempo of the game and ran with it.
Yeah, that off lane, I think, was the winning factor for them.
Yeah.
Zeus and Invoker trading pretty evenly in the mid lane, and then off lane actually going. The safe lane for passive aggressive warriors, the silencer, actually not going his way. He actually died once there and never really got, sort of the start that he wanted. But like we said, it didn't matter. Midas on the Void. No one could catch his farm, and he just dominated that entire game.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you say it didn't really go their way, but I mean, when you look at the overall shape of the game, the safe lane didn't go in favor of the silencer, but he was still ahead of the anti-mage for a large portion of the game, until later on after the anti-mage got that Battle Fury and just started to accelerate very rapidly, ending up on 405 gold per minute for the anti-mage. I expect if we had looked at the gold per minute around about like 25 minutes, we would have seen a very, very different story.
Yeah, that Battle Fury, like we were talking about, that was his comeback mechanic. And what really helped him there, he joined a fight sort of early on, in the mid game, managed to pick off the Zeus with his Mana Void, which definitely accelerated him a bit. And then he was pretty much just sort of playing around the map, trying to get farm where he could. And to his favor, he didn't really get punished for it as well. So he played quite well. But the start, I think, was just too much. Sorry, the deficit was too much to climb back from.
Yeah, I mean, by the time the anti-mage started to become a serious force in the match, it was just so late. And I think that, yeah, the anti-mage was definitely a pick that cost them in a very, very big way. I can see in chat there someone has mentioned the choice of the Lich, the Shadow Shaman into the Lich. I mean, do you feel that was a pretty big factor? Shadow Shaman obviously a pretty strong pushing support, but a very hard support to play into a hero like Lich, and of course in combination with Faceless Void. I mean, that's a pretty scary hero combination to go into.
I think the you don't really expect the dual land though, right? And it was picked early on, the Shadow Shaman, I think second or third, possibly. So the Lich hadn't even been picked by then. So I mean, like if you're going into that situation, you think, okay, they've got a Faceless Void already. He's going to be solo offlane. So we're planning on getting an anti-mage. Well, I don't know if they're planning that yet, but they're like, okay, we'll pick a Shadow Shaman. He might be able to shackle the Void and lock him down, and then you can get kills on him, which is completely fair enough. But obviously the dual lane maybe wasn't what they were planning, and they didn't really have an answer for it. I would have liked to see the Enchantress rotate around. Obviously they wanted to shut down that silencer, but at what cost? Maybe if she farmed her own jungle and then rotated around to help them out in their safe lane, it might have gone a bit differently.
It's very hard to say in those kind of situations because, I mean, it's totally possible that without the Enchantress, the Silencer could have gotten a bit out of control, and obviously if he gets enough stacks with his intelligence steal, he could be quite a hero to be reckoned with as well. But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to say. Was there any particular fights there or moments in the match that you thought were defining for the game?
I think when it was earlier on, when Paragon had the Enchantress and Batrider bottom, and they dove a little bit too far to get a kill on the Silencer. We had TPs on the side of passive aggressive warriors, and kills went the way of Faceless Void and Zeus. And at that point, Void was already well far ahead, so that propelled both of them significantly ahead, and it sort of just they stayed there for pretty much from there until the end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you on that one. It was a very interesting match overall, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great play from both teams and really fascinating to watch. So, probably about time for us to wrap up. Of course, it is getting pretty late over here in New Zealand, man. It's approaching 1 a.m. Approaching 1 a.m. Maybe
just
time for
before we do,
yep.
I would like to say to everyone watching, thank you for watching. We are Clutch Gaming NZ, and also we are looking to expand. So if you know anyone or you yourself are keen to be a caster and join us casting, or you know any graphics artists, or you are one yourself that are looking to do things like overlays and promotional videos, then hit us up. You can go to clutchgaming.co.nz. It doesn't matter if you're not from New Zealand either, so we will take Australians and even, you know, anywhere else. We can work online. So if you're interested, let us know. It'd be great to work with you.
Definitely, Matt. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, and it's probably that time. So good night from me, good night from him, good night from us, and good night to you all.
Thanks for watching.